Hi guys, Blake here with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Friday the 6th of November and I'm going to do the one cast for you today. I boated up here. I'm sitting right below the cable. I'm going to start off today throwing a 16th ounce purple and black jig. Jig that we don't fish very often. But last night I went out, Levi and I went out just fishing. I came up here and jig fished the last couple hours of the day and we did really well. Caught, I don't know, 20 or so fish. We both each had one over 20 inches and the purple and black jig was what I was using and it was working pretty well. So I hope that they like it as much as they did yesterday, but we will see. It is a little bit earlier than the day than it was yesterday when we were fishing, but we'll see if I get similar results. Today it's just a little bit above 70, probably 72 degrees, nice and sunny. They're running, the schedule says 60 megawatts, they're running 3,400 cubic feet per second, which is maybe just a little less than 60 megawatts. It's probably right in there. And we're gonna get started. I'm gonna go ahead and let the boat get drifting a little bit here. Oh, fishing reports for today. I talked to a few different boats that were coming up the lake a little bit ago, and they all said they were doing fair. We had one boat come back in that said they were doing good on white and pink power eggs on the same hook, and he was using a white jig, and they were fishing below the trophy area. And he said the white jig bite was pretty good down there. So I'd say that maybe even some of the fish down there saw some of the shad that came through a couple days ago. A lot of the guides had trips today. Bill Babler and Steve Dickey and Philip Stone, and I saw a few others go past the dock this morning. I was not at the dock. I guess when they came back to drop everyone off, I didn't get a fishing report there. Our water conditions here are really starting to look like that the Table Rock might be starting to turn over. We got some pretty dingy water. Nothing officially on the first cast. Which, you know, sometimes this dingier water can make it a little harder for the trout to see what they're going after. Sometimes that makes the, oh, there's a fish, or not a fish. That is not a fish. That's that little tree that's in the water there that I should have remembered was there. Okay, well, we don't get to find out if they're hitting purple and black again today because that was the only one I had. But I do have a few other rods rigged up and ready to go. So another color that I did well on, not this summer, but last summer, was an all peach jig. Well, except for the head. It's got a brown head. Peach feathers. And that's a 16th ounce as well. Whenever they're running that 1 unit of water, 16th ounce is a pretty good bet for me. Honestly, I think when the water's a little dingier, the night crawlers and the power baits seem to work pretty good. The other color we did really well on last night was Sculpin and Ginger with a Sculpin head, 16th ounce. Ooh, there was a hit right at the boat. Yesterday while we were out, I did catch another small walleye, and a couple of my buddies went fishing, wading last night, and they pulled a 21-inch walleye out over by Outlet 1. So I'd say the numbers probably weren't as great as I was anticipating on other species coming through the dam, but it would seem that at least a few did. I saw on the fly fishing Taneycobo website last night that somebody caught quite a large spoonbill, and I don't know if it said on the post that it was on a fly rod. I believe it was. The fish looked like it was, I don't know, 40, 50 pounds, pretty big. And I've actually, there's one. There's somebody who liked the peach. I have, oh dang it, he got off right at the boat. Anyway, I have actually seen what I believe was that spoonbill swimming around up here, maybe even 4 or 5 nights ago. The water was running 1 unit at night. We were kind of drifting over there in front of the island, and he was swimming upstream. I shined my light in the water, and he was just a couple feet below the boat. Might have been the same spoonbill, maybe not, but it looked about the same size as the one I saw in the water the other night. So that would be fun to catch on a fly rod, I imagine. Or maybe you'd be worried about your fly rod breaking in half. I know if I hooked into something that big, I'd think I had the world record brown trout on. I have never been spoonbill fishing. From what I hear, they kind of just stay like a dead weight to the bottom. It may have been fairly obvious to him that he didn't have a trout on. Ever since those floodgates came open though and went back off, the jig bite has been pretty good. I think these fish are out here chasing little minnows and stuff. The wind is kind of blowing me back into the bank here. The lake is just unbelievably busy today. I understand that it's a Friday and we're going into the weekend, but even so, usually on getting close to the middle of November, beginning of November, I probably pass 20 boats from our dock up to the dam here, and there's at least, I don't know, 5 of them up here right now. Pretty impressive. See that many boats out in November. The weather's absolutely beautiful. That might have changed a little bit if it was 40 degrees out here, but I'm gonna take one more cast with the peach, and then I'm gonna switch over to the sculpin and ginger with a sculpin head like we were using last night. That purple and black really surprised me. I know it's a good nighttime color, but yeah, yesterday during the day they were hitting it really well. I was hoping to fish with that one today. Okay, put the peach down, and now we've got the sculpin and ginger 16th ounce with the sculpin head. This rod, I have this on as my rod for Mike Riffle built me for using 1/32 ounce jigs. It will throw the 16th ounce jig, but you gotta kind of give it a little extra whip there. So if it looks like I'm cranking this thing, it's really because it's made for throwing a smaller jig. I'm not moving that jig nearly as much as the rod is making it look like I'm moving it. There's a fish. Let's see if I can get this one to the camera. Quite a few people out waiting today too. Oh, come here, buddy. Nice, pretty little 12 or 13 incher. There he goes. Now, on this rod, because I use it to throw 1/32 ounce jigs, I have 2-pound test, which is probably allowing the jig to sink just a little faster than it was sinking on my other rod. I had another bite. There he was again. Came back for it twice and I missed him. It definitely is sinking a lot faster at that 2-pound test. Probably be better on the 4-pound. And this water that's out here in front of the island is quite shallow, so I'm having to work this thing quite a bit faster. Captain B down below me. Looks like, sounds like they just lost one at the boat. Heard the ahs. I really probably should be throwing this on my 4-pound test and a thicker rod. It's a little too hard to work that 16th ounce jig. There's another little stalker made his way up here to the dam. I bet you there's 20 people up here, maybe even a few more than that, fishing both sides of the bank today. Here's another one. Trying to keep the boat from drifting over. This 1 unit of water still pretty shallow right here once you drop right below the island. I do not want to drag the motor on the bottom. This one's a little bigger. They got some spunk to them today. I'd say that if this dinginess is due to the water turning over, that maybe that means we're also getting a little more oxygen in the water. I've talked about it before, but sometimes we make the sculpin and ginger with a brown head, an orange head, and a sculpin head. I think well, I don't know about that one, I won't say that. But sometimes just the color of the head makes all the difference in the world, and sometimes it doesn't matter which one you put on here. But I will say that the sculpin head is my favorite on just about any of the jigs. There was one, missed him. A note to myself that this rod was definitely made for just using the 32nd ounce jig. Doesn't have nearly the control or the feel when you're having to work something too heavy for it. That was Jeremy Hunt that just went by and going up to the cable. Jeremy Hunt ties quite a few of our flies that we carry up in the shop. I think I'll fish just a little bit longer and then call it a day. But I have to say that the jig bite seems to still be good, even earlier in the day when we were out yesterday. At least up here up top, Phil said that yesterday when he went out about this time to do the one cast, that the bite wasn't quite as good down below as it was for him the day before up top, but it was good for us last night, and it seems to still be pretty good today here. So now that I'm drifting back into deeper water, I can space out my pops there a little bit. I'm gonna go right down to this last, there's a little, about where the big hole starts, there's a little island over here on the west bank. There's a fish. I was just letting that one kind of sit on the bottom a little bit. But anyway, so right where the big hole starts, there's a little, just barely a little baby island. Little gravel bar that sticks out here as the lake bends around, and I'm just gonna go right to the end of that. Call it a show. Also, that little bar that I'm talking about, little gravel bar, little island, whatever you want to call it, the water kind of rips right around there, creates a channel. Oh, there was another fish. Creates a little channel in front of the island, and those fish, just about anytime I come up here, I can count on that spot to, you know, get close enough to it to drift something through it or cast into it, and it usually produces at least a fish, at least one. Most of the time I can catch one out of it each time I go by it, but not always. Looks like it's gonna make a liar out of me today. Oh, I either have a fish or I got the bottom. Yep, I found the bottom. Oh, I can't end it like that. I got that peach jig still rigged up back here. I'll take one more cast. Last cast. Right out here at the end of the island. That trough still continues off the end of the island. Another good spot. There was a hit. Let's see if he comes back for it. That water does eddy just a little bit right behind that gravel bar. So if you want to fish it successfully, you gotta slow the boat down just a touch. All right, looks like nothing out of my sweet spot. So we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get out here and do it again for you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.